the only one, and no, Barbara and I. She's got her costume on, but I mentioned not to people here, to some other people, that it was Purim, and they said, Purim now? And I didn't even know it was Purim until Monday or Tuesday, when I noticed it on a calendar, not ours. So happy Purim, because it's sunset now. Purim was yesterday at sunset to today at sunset. But we at least got here in time, I think, to experience, and we'll sort of pretend that tonight will continue with the holiday. And also, I just want to explain that we're going to do this service in a couple of parts. We're going to start with the prayer book, and then you all have this, which is the actual Purim service. You all have that in your, so we're going to, after we do the lighting of the candles and stuff, we're going to move to this, and we'll do the Megillah reading and so forth in here, and then in the end, we're going to go back to the prayer books to do the Kaddish and the Mishabera. So we'll fit most of it in tonight. We're not going to open the ark. There wasn't any sort of place to open the ark. So if anybody feels lost, that they're not seeing what's inside the ark, we'll open it at the end of the service, and you can look in. But otherwise, the ark doesn't get open. So anyway, I did say welcome, and we will start with the singing of Ani Purim. And you have, by the way, you each have a sheet in the booklet that has two songs, the opening song and the closing song. And the opening song is Ani Purim, and the closing song is Chag Purim, and you have the words right in your, not stapled to anything, it's a separate piece of paper that I gave instructions about what to staple, but didn't happen. Okay, now that I've fully explained it all, Shabbat Shalom and Happy Purim, and let us begin our service. I didn't hear the name of Haman. If you don't have a grogger, they're all up there, and if somebody wants to take them and pass them around, that would be wonderful. Because when we do the Megillah service and whenever we mention the name of Haman, we have to do that tonight. Okay, so we're working out of our prayer books now, and if you'll turn to page 120, I'm calling Barbara to light the candles. Barbara Pomeranz.
there's a lot of these up here, but we'll see. One of these might work. Yeah, I told Marilyn that I wasn't good with a match.
You're going to read first.
So, okay, all right. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Do that.
Bravo. I can never do it. Bravo.
All right, that was the hard part. But Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Okay, stay there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Okay, we are now moving to our pamphlets, our Purim pamphlets, because the next bulk of the service will be in this booklet. I'm assuming everybody has their booklet. Sharing what we have with others on Purim, we do this through shalach manos, or mishalach manot. Either way we pronounce the words, they mean the same thing, the sending of gifts to friends and neighbors. What kind of gifts do we mean? Maybe something you have made or baked, like hamantashen, or maybe it's something we give to those in need. Whatever you give, the important thing about it is that you are giving something to yourself, of yourself, sorry. It is said, when you feel most like crying, then rejoice. When Purim comes, we rejoice. We drink our wine and sing our songs. We make our happy noise because we are alive, because in the long tale of our people, not one Haman has risen to destroy us, but one after another. And yet, because we live, our cup of joys overflows. Am Yisrael Chai, our people Israel lives together, and we give thanks. We now turn to the Shema and its blessings. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach li'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai to whom our praise is due. Praise Adonai to whom our praise is due now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chachma poteach she'arim uvitvuna meshane itim. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Together, we praise you, God, ruler of the world, who creates light and darkness, who plans and forms all things. We are grateful, God, for this beautiful world in which we live. Yes.
Israel, Amen.
We now turn to page 3 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. I humbly apologize. I actually never introduced myself, but there's really nobody here that needed my introduction, but I didn't mention that I am standing in for the rabbi who is in Ireland, and she'll be back next week. So I'm here tonight. Let us all read together the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, b'shivteka b'veitecha, u'v'lechteka b'derech, u'v'shachbecha v'kumecha. U'kshartam le'ot al yodecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. Ma'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, yitem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem ve'eretz Mitzrayim, lichot lahem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. And continue to read together in English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down, when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hands. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to God. I am eternal God who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. And now we read responsively, God, how many rise up to harm me? They say to me, God will not help you. They set traps for me, spreading a net along the road. They have laid traps for me. They surround me. But you are my shield. You help me stand up straight. I hold my head high, as it is said, do not be afraid, O Israel, for I will save you, you and your children, and none will make you afraid. We have escaped like birds from a trap. The trap broke, and we escaped. For the God of heaven and earth has been our help. Remember the days of Haman. Wait. Come on.
Mi chamocha bali Adonai, mi kamocha merva kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha. Bokeh
turn to page 4, and please rise as we do an alternative Amidah.
Adonai sechatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
And let us read responsively. You are strong when you take your grief and teach it to smile. You are brave when you overcome your fear and teach others to do the same. You are happy when you see a flower and give it your blessing. Loving when your own plan does not blind you to the pain of others. You are wise when you know the limits of your wisdom. You are true when you admit when there are times you fool yourselves. You are alive when tomorrow's hope means more to you than yesterday's mistake. You are growing when you know what you are, but not what you become to be. You are free when you are in control of yourself and do not wish to control others. You are honorable when you find your honor others. You are generous when you can take as sweetly as you give. You are thoughtful when you see me just as I am and treat me better than I am. You are merciful when you forgive in others the faith you condemn in yourself. You are beautiful when you don't need a mirror to tell you. You are rich when you never need more than you give. You are what you are, and that is enough for anyone to be loved. Please be seated. And yes.
Oseh shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all who inhabit the earth. And let us say, Amen. And now we're going to begin with the Megillah. And we're going to start with the blessings before the reading of Megillah. You can feel free to join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al mekirat Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman hazeh. Now all of us, let's say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai our God, sovereign of existence, who sustains us in life and allows us to reach this moment in final time. We now have Lainey Schlein here to start us off with the Hebrew, the abridged version of the Scroll of Esther, which will be followed by Hank and Penny, who will continue the reading of the portions of the Megillah responsively with all of you, followed by Trudy Pryor, who will read the Hebrew introductory prayers, and Neil, who will do the reading with all of us, and we'll conclude with Jim Tunick. So, Lainey?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Vayid b'nei Ashaverosh hu Ashaverosh Hamelech mehodu va'ed kush sheva ve'esarim ume Medina. Bayamim hayim keshevet Hamelech Ashaverosh al kiseh malchuto asher beshushan habira. Bishnat shalosh lemelcho asa mishte lechol sarav ve'avadav chael paras umadai hapartimim vesari hamadino lefanav baharoto et osher kevod malchuto ve'et yakar tiferet gedulato yamim rabim shemanoim umat yom uvimlat hayamim haela asa hamelech lechol haem hanimitz beshushan habira lemegadol vayed katan mishte shivat yamim b'chazar ginat bitan hamelech her karpas utelechet achus bekavelech vutz var gaman al gilele kesef ve amudai shesh mitot zahav vekesef al ritzfat bahat veshesh vadar vesocharet vashkot bikelei zahav vekalim mekelim shonoim vayayin malchut rav kayed hamelech.
Thank you. If you think that that's one easy task, it really isn't.
It's been a long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
I'm reading the first. I read the first. Once upon a time, in the days of Ahasuerus, that king of Persia, who ruled over 127 provinces from India all the way to Ethiopia.
When King Ahasuerus occupied the royal throne in the walled city of Shushan in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast for all of his officials and servants, and he showed off the riches of his kingdom for 180 days.
And letters were,
At the end.
and letters. The king gave at the end of this time, the king gave a special banquet for 7 days in the court of the king's palace garden for all the people who lived in Shushan, high and low alike. Royal wine was served in great abundance, and the rule for the drinking was no restrictions.
On this seventh day, and the king was merry with wine, he ordered 7 servants to bring Queen Vashti before the king, wearing only her crown, to show off her beauty to everyone, for she was indeed a very beautiful woman. Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command. The king became very angry, and he consulted his servants, and he issued a royal decree that Vashti should be exiled and her royal estate be given to another who was more obedient than she. And letters were sent to all the provinces of the king that every man should be boss in his own home. Sometime afterward, when the king was less angry and he had recovered from his hangover, he realized that he was in serious need of a new queen. So the king's servants suggested that a Miss Persia contest be held, and that beautiful young women from all over the land be brought to Shushan and given makeup, and that the woman who most pleased the king would become queen instead of Vashti.
Where's the
And
Mordecai,
no, right here.
in Shushan, the capital, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captives by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. He was the foster father of Hadassah, that is, Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother.
The young woman was shapely and beautiful, and when her parents died, Mordecai adopted her as his own daughter. When the king's contest was announced, and many young women gathered together in Shushan, Esther too was taken to the king's palace. When Esther's turn came to go into the king, she found favor in the eyes of all who saw her. The king loved Esther above all the other women, so he set the royal crown upon her head, making her queen instead of Vashti. And the king threw another great party for all his officials, and he even proclaimed that no one would love any during that time.
But Esther still did not reveal her religion or her people, as Mordecai had instructed her. She did not tell the king that she was Jewish.
So before I continue, I just want you to know that when Marilyn asked me if I would read the Hebrew and said, I'll give you the transliteration if you want it, I said to myself, no, I'm going to do this. Little did I realize that most of these words I don't see very often in the prayer book. So you're going to have to bear with me. The other thing I had to do was blow it up because the eyes aren't so good anymore. So here we go. The ganze Megillah, as we say. Achar hadvarim ha'ele gidal hamelech Achashveros et Haman ben Hamdata ha'agagi. Vayinasehu v'yaseh et kiso me'al kol hasharim ashar ito. V'chol avdei hamelech ashar b'sa'ar hamelech korim u'mishtachavim l'chaman kihen tzivalo hamelech ומרדכי לא יכרע ולא וישתבח.
After these events, the king pronounced Haman the Agagite, placing him above all other officials. All of the king's servants in the palace knelt and bowed low to him, as the king had commanded. When Haman saw that Mordecai would neither kneel nor bow to him, he was filled with anger. But he decided not to hurt Mordecai alone. Having been told that Mordecai was Jewish, Haman decided to do something that would hurt all the Jews throughout the whole kingdom. So Haman said to King Ahasuerus, "There is a certain people spread out among the other peoples in all the provinces of your land, whose laws are different from those of any other people, and who do not obey the king's laws. And it is not in your majesty's interest to tolerate them. If it pleases your majesty, let an order be sent forth that they be destroyed." And the king said to Haman, "Let it be done." In every province there was great mourning among the Jews, and loud cries, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing. Mordecai then told him all that had happened to him, and he gave him a copy of Haman's decree, which had been proclaimed in Shushan, ordering the destruction of the Jews, so that he might show it to Esther and report to her, and bid her to go to the king and plead with him for her people. Hatak came and told Esther what Mordecai had said. Esther then spoke to Hatak and instructed him to carry this message back to Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that any man or woman who steps into the inner court of the king without an invitation will be put to death, unless the king extends his golden scepter. Only then may the person live. As for me, I have not been called to come into the king for the last 30 days. And Mordecai answered Esther, "Do not think that because you are in the king's palace and because you have hidden your identity, that you alone of all the Jews will escape. On the contrary, if you remain silent about who you are in this crisis, relief and deliverance will come to the Jews from another source, but you and your father's house will perish. Besides, who knows, perhaps it was for just such a time as this that you attained your royal status." After 3 days of fasting and praying, Esther put on her best royal robes and stood in the inner courtyard of the king's palace while the king was sitting on his throne. Then the king said to her, "What is troubling you, Queen Esther, and what is your petition? Be it half the kingdom, it will be granted to you." And Esther said, "If it please the king, let the king and Haman come today to a feast that I have prepared for them." The king replied, "Bring Haman quickly to fill Esther's wish." Then the king said to Esther, "Now what is your request? It will be granted to you." And Esther said, "If I have found favor in the king's eyes, let the king and Haman come to the feast which I have prepared for them tomorrow."
ויבוא המלך וחמן לשתות עם אסתר המלכה. ויאמר המלך לאסתר גם ביום השני במשתות היין, מה שאלך תך אסתר המלכה, ותינתן לך, ומה ביקשתך עד הצי המלכות ותעש. וטען אסתר המלכה ותאמר אם מצאתי תן בעיניך המלכה, ואם על המלך טוב תינתו לי נפשי בשאלתי ועמו בבקשתי. כי נמכרנו אין ועמי להשמיד, להרוג ולעבדי, ואילו לעבדים ולשפוטות. נמכרנו החרשתי כי אין חצי שווה בנזק המלך. ויאמר המלך אחשוורוש ויאמר לאסתר המלכה, מי הוא זה ואיזה הוא אשר מלוא ליבו לעשות כן. ותאמר אסתר, איש צר ואויב המן והרע הזה והמן ניבט מלפני המלך והמלכה.
All right, we'll continue reading responsively, starting with the congregation. So they had a bad guy. On the second day, king, yes. And Esther said, "May my life be given to me as my petition, and the life of my people as my request. For we have been sold, me and my people, for destruction, for murder, and annihilation." And the king asked, "A vicious enemy, this wicked Haman." The king arose and said, "Hang him on the gallows that he prepared for Mordecai." So they hanged Haman on the gallows he had built. The king's scribes were summoned, and Mordecai ordered that letters be sent to all the Jews, telling them how they had been saved from the hands of the king's evil advisor.
Mordecai left the king's presence dressed in a royal robe of white, with a great golden crown and
A cloak of white linen and purple. Rabbi?
Hayita. Somebody please read this for me because I cannot read transliterated Hebrew. Thank you. I didn't realize that this was transliterated Hebrew. For the Jews, there was an honor. And Mordecai sent letters to the Jews instructing them to observe the 14th and the 15th days of Adar each year, the same days on which the Jews had found relief from their enemies, making them days of fasting and joy for the exchange of gifts and the giving of tzedakah to the poor, so that these days of Purim should be remembered and kept for all generations. And now for the blessings after the reading of the Megillah. Let's all join together in English. We praise you, Adonai our God, sovereign of existence, who hears our plea, judges our claim, sees that justice is done, and knows that our enemies themselves will suffer from their hatred in the end. We praise you, Adonai, eternal source of comfort, for the Jewish people and the source of salvation for all the righteous and just of the world. And now we'll all join together in the popular song, Wicked, Wicked Haman.
Here we go. Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He would have murdered all the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and eat some ham and tashen. Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. Haman said he'd heard us all. Oh my, how he did scare us. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and nosh some ham and tashen. But Mordecai, her cousin bold, said, what a dreadful knave, sir. Esther is a clever queen, her people she will save, sir. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and nosh some ham and tashen. When Esther, speaking to the king of Haman's plot, did mention, aha, he said, oh no, he won't, I'll spoil his bad intention. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be.
Today we'll merry, merry be.
Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and nosh some ham and tashen. The Bible tells us how she destroyed all Haman's plots so clever, and God preserved the Jews that day, as God has done forever. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and nosh some ham and tashen. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and nosh some ham and tashen.
Well, that was a joyful story and a joyful outcome. And while I don't have a long prayer tonight for Israel, let's hope that we can be singing these kind of songs for what happens in Israel, for peace and humanity. I wasn't going to do a sermon, but at the last minute, I said, how can I be up here without doing a sermon? So forgive me, but I'm going to do a sermon after all. To maximize the Purim effect, congregations have to offer more than great music and groggers and costumes and carnivals and noise and joyfulness. We need to relate to the story of Purim, to the lives of modern-day Jews, both children and adults, because the Purim story has much to teach us. if we look at it closely. And here are 3 examples. First, Vashti's courage. We should applaud the courage of Vashti, King Ahasuerus' first wife. In the story of the world's most powerful man who commands her to display her beauty for his drunken friends, and then she refuses. And that's her story. Of course, in the storyline, Vashti must exit the stage, and then Esther comes in. But we should usher her off with a standing ovation. Vashti is a worthy role model for every woman. Her actions provide a great jumping-off point for a discussion about how women are often treated and how they can choose to respond. Vashti refused to be simply a sex object, even at the price of her throne. She is an example of one for whom popularity and position were less important than her dignity as a human being. Would that more of us had the courage to follow her example. And the second item is prejudice. A vital lesson about prejudice presents itself when Mordecai refuses to bow down before Haman. We're not going to do that. Well, we can. Haman is angry, but as the book of Esther records, it was not enough for him to punish Mordecai alone for having been told who Mordecai's people were. Haman plotted to do away with all the Jewish people because of his anger at one man. Generalizing feelings about an individual to an entire group is a textbook example of prejudice. Sadly, the prejudice we see in the book of Esther has confronted our people many times throughout history and continues to rear its head with frightful frequency. It confronts many other groups as well. Racism, sexism, ageism, and homophobia are just some of the prejudices that plague our world today. The Purim story provides a vivid example of this phenomenon that we can profitably, happily, meaningfully discuss with groups of all ages. And finally, human destiny. A third vital lesson is about human destiny and the meaning of life. When Mordecai read Haman's decree condemning the Jews of Persia to death, he sent a message to Esther to intercede for her people. Esther's response was that she dared not enter the presence of the king because he had not summoned her. To go to the king unbidden would be to risk her very life. When he urges her to go anyway, Mordecai asks Esther a question we should all ask ourselves. Who knows if you have not come to your position for just such a time as this? That's interesting. Mordecai really asks us all, are we on this earth just to avoid trouble and enjoy life? Is this our own comfort, the primary purpose of our existence? Jewish tradition and the book of Esther says no. Esther could have lived out her life in luxury by ignoring the plight of our people. But Mordecai's questions invaded her conscience enough that she risked everything in order to save the Jews. Like Esther, we all have moments when our action or inaction will make a vital difference. We can seize these moments or turn away from them. By swallowing her fear and seizing her moment, Esther inspires us all. Now that Purim has passed at sunset, although we are still celebrating, let's be concerned for more than fun games and great music. Modeling the courage of Vashti, recognizing prejudice, and seizing our destiny at crucial moments. Make the story of Esther our story, a story that can enrich our Jewish souls long after the celebration is over. Amen. We will now turn to our prayer books. And if we turn to page 371 for the Mishabera, we have a list. It blew away from, oh, here it is. If anyone has anyone either to add or just someone that they wish to mention, please, as I look around, call out that name. Let us sing together. Let's start again.
מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. מי שברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the ones who blessed our mothers, may the ones who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and be strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach imotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah ורחל. May the ones who blessed our mothers, may the ones who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
We now turn to page 595. And I'm going to read the Kaddish list, and then we will go into our songs. And first of all, is there anyone who has anyone to mention who is not on this list, or you want to call out? Anyone else? Okay, and I'm going to read the following names of our members and their loved ones. Samuel Aufsaher, Morris Berner, Molly Glassman, Ruth Harrach, Dr. Herman Kaplan, Bernard M.K., Rose Krasnick, Paul L. Lessian, Ruth Levin Book, Elizabeth Victoria Levin, Abraham A. Matt, William Charles Moak, Peggy Poleski, Marie Dorothy Roberts, Nakia Marie Roberts, Joel Michael Schwartz, Alan B. Schwartz, Kate M. Spetner, Louis Stern, Rabbi Theodore Stroka, Louis Weinberg, Clara Weisberg, and Bessie Zahala. And now from our high members and their loved ones. Ruby Abraham, Abe Applebaum, Ivor Arnold, Betty Ausman, Fran Berlin, Gertrude Bertenthal, Elliot Brahma, David Brass, Louis Breckner, Marilyn Bressler, Shirley Bressler, Esther Bromberg, Marion Karsh, Dr. J. Cowell, Manuel Elkin, Abraham Faskow, Fred Feldman, Bernard Furtenstenberg, Bernice Friedman, Ruth Fuller, Ruth Furrow, Toby Gableman, Diana Gardner, Dora Gerstein, Loretta Goldberg, Charles Goodman, Abraham Grossman, Abraham Hendler, Miriam Henna, William Hoekster, Norman Howard, Robert Jaffe, George Janov, Henry Katz, Marvin Katz, Stephen Levine, Norton Levin, Howard Levy, Erwin Lieberman, Toby Lowy, Herman Lowitz, Sidney Martin, Harry Masso, Jack Netterman, Jacqueline Obstagaraton, Janet Pace, Edna Packett, Abraham Perlman, Sam Post, Jerome Rose, Deborah Rosen, Nathan Rothford, Audrey Rubner, Alexander Rudinsky, Hazel Salzman, May Schneider, Perry Schwartz, Tiv Kushina, William Strauss, Evelyn Toblas, Stanley Turk, Sarah Weintraub, Clara Weisberg, Howard Wolfson, and Ruth Zagon. I guess this was not a good month for people passing away because this is the longest list I've seen for a while. We wish all of their families the best. And now page 595, there are stars.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though the time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live.
Let us turn to page 598, and everyone please stand for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah v'yalma divrah te v'yamlith malchutei b'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael ba'agla u'b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach v'olam omei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithallah shemei dekudasha barichu me'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi Shloma Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. We think of our loved ones whose death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. May their memories be for a blessing. And please be seated. And we are now ready for our final song. So thank you all for hanging in here for Purim. And we will have an oneg with Hamantaschen, et cetera, up at Lilienfeld House, which is outside for those who have not been here, and to the right, slightly up the hill. So our closing song is, what is the name of it?
Hag Purim.
Hag Purim. And you have the words in your, on your sheet.
Hag Purim, Hagadol hu leyudim, Masechot Rashamim, Zemirot Rikudim, Havanarish Rash 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 Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Barashamim. Purim Day, it's a happy holiday. We wear masks, drink from flasks, ding and dance and play. Let's hear the roggers rush, rush, rush. Let's hear the groggers rush, rush, rush. Let's hear the groggers rush, rush, rush when Haman's name they say. Hag Purim, Hagadol hu leyudim, Masechot Rashananim, Zemirot Rikudim. Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Barashamayim.
Shabbat Shalom and Happy Purim to all of you here tonight, to all of our members and guests and visitors on Zoom, and hope to see you over some Hamantaschen. Thank you so much.